Welcome back, Dollies. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. How's everybody doing?
We hope you're okay. We hope you're safe listening to this.
Yes.
We know there's a lot going on right now, so we were kind of trying to figure out what we should do about the podcast, but we wanted to be here for you and, yeah, show up for you and maybe give you some laughs if you can.
Yeah, I honestly looked into like celeb news and stuff. There's not much going on. It is all kind of surrounded about the fires. I felt it wasn't really appropriate to talk about gossip and things like that when there's so much like devastation going on in LA specifically right now. So I think it's best that we kind of just like talk about our weeks. I am in LA, so I can tell you a little bit about how it's been on my end, um, and just what we've been up to and touch
And
base a
I'm
little bit on what we've heard.
chewing gum, so don't mind me. This is like my anti-nausea thing. Sorry. It's
Yeah, it's
that or
either the
vomit.
gum or vomit. So which,
So live with
speaking
me.
of, last time we spoke, you were
I was
Sierra,
vomit free.
Sierra 1, Vomit 0, and now you are Sierra 0, Vomit 2.
Yes. It's not been great. These past 2 days have been okay. Actually, yesterday I felt great, but Friday was really rough. I just couldn't find anything that I wanted to eat. The night before, P was like, let's just get you Taco Bell. That sounds good. You can eat it. Let's just get it for you. So we got it. I ate it, and I was like, vomited it right away. At first, I was like, oh no, did I get like food poisoned? You know?
God, yeah.
But it definitely wasn't because the boys also ate stuff and they were totally fine. And I was like in the shower and I was like, I feel like I'm gonna vomit. And I was like, I felt like this before. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. And then all of a sudden I was like, nope. So I started in the shower and then I like made it. I had to like flip open the toilet and lean over.
Oh my gosh. That just sounds like horrible. On anything to do with, like, I doubt that anybody loves to throw up, but
Right.
I really hate it. Like, I remember being younger and like if my stomach was upset and like I knew in my soul that I had to vomit, I would be in denial for a cool minute. And my mom would come to the point where she'd be like, Alyssa, like if you have to throw up, like just go
Just
throw
do it.
up. And I'd be like, no, I don't want to. Like, I would just like
Not
cry,
doing it.
not want to. Like, I'll hold it down. And then eventually
You
I would just
can't.
like pet myself up and be like, you got this, Alyssa. Like,
You're
get
gonna
over
vomit.
it.
It's gonna be fine.
Strong. Yeah, you're gonna be fine. You don't want to do it. Get it over with. Like, you could have been done with this already. Then I would, and I'd be like, I feel better. But it'd be like 2 hours of being like, I don't want to.
Not gonna do it.
So I cannot imagine.
It's
So
not
Taco
fun.
Bell, like out of
Oh,
all things to vomit, that's just
so I'm super over Taco Bell because the next morning
no
I was like,
bueno.
okay, I had stuff left over and I was like, I need to eat as soon as I get up. Like, just eat. So I went
Yeah.
in the kitchen and like our kitchen doesn't smell per se, but like I can just smell I can smell through the walls. Like, I'm not kidding you. I'm in the shower with the doors closed and I can smell P turn on the cast iron. And I'm like,
Gosh.
it's really, he's like, God, this time is really extreme. It feels
No.
like it for me too. Okay.
Oh my God.
Um, And then I had like a bite of like a potato taco because I was like, okay, like just take a few bites, like, okay. And
Yeah.
then I walked through the kitchen and I was like, nope, had to run to the bathroom and I made it and I vomited and I was like, well, I'm on the freaking couch in the bedroom for the day. Just leave me
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. Nobody talks to me. Don't look at me.
But it's impossible. So Arkham's like on my lap and he's like, get Greta up here. And I'm like, I don't want her up here with me. I just want to lay here by myself.
Yeah, you are strong for that because that I feel like is probably the hardest part
And
about
he's like elbowing
being
me in
a
the
parent.
stomach and like trying to squeeze over me. And I'm like, and he's just up and down and up and down. And I'm like, and he's like, are you done sleeping yet? I'm like, I'm not even sleeping. I'm just trying to chill. And he's like, get up and dance. We need to dance. I'm like,
Oh
I
my
don't want
God.
to. I'm trying not to vomit, okay?
Please spare me. Please.
So
That's
he's doing his best to entertain me, but I'm like,
Aw.
bro, I just want to relax. I just want to like take a 5 minute nap. And anytime I try to sleep, he like busts in. He's like, leave her alone. He's like, I'm just seeing if she's sleeping. I'm like, well, I was for 5 minutes, but not anymore.
That was see you again in 5 minutes. That's so funny.
So it's been
Um,
wild. We've been hit with crazy
yeah,
snow. I wish we could send some snow to put out the fires because the snow's
yeah.
wild. We got the most we've ever gotten. We had like probably this week, of course, some melted, so it wasn't all, but we probably got like 12 inches of snow. But of course, like it melted in between. And then Friday, the day I didn't feel good, it snowed all day. And yeah, it's just been uh a lot going on with the storms here and then the fires there. Um
Yeah, and I heard that Texas was also getting crazy weather.
Storms.
Yeah, so a lot of flights were canceled out of Texas, I heard. So it's a little chaotic.
And it's been a
But
weird week for you, like with
oh
work
yeah.
and
Oh yeah. So let's see. The fires started Tuesday. So today's day 6. Because Tuesday, yeah. And it just started out with the Palisades fire and then it progressed. Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, my office was closed because of the fires. A lot of places were, not that my office was actually being affected
threatened.
by, yeah, the fires, but obviously, our staff and patients, of course,
And
come from
roads, I
there.
mean,
Yeah, so, it's like kind of just being like, oh, stay home just in case, like don't worry about coming into the office. Like, God forbid you're in a zone that has to evacuate and you're like at work. So, that was good that they closed the office. We are reopening tomorrow,
you
which will
are
be
okay.
Monday. Yeah. But I work from home on Monday, so I'll still be home and I'm hoping that the fires get contained this week, so I don't foresee my office closing again.
And
But we'll
everybody from your office is safe. Their home is
Yeah,
safe.
everybody's safe. Nobody's like house or apartment has been affected by the fire, which is good. A few people in the beginning of the week left if they had like family elsewhere. They just like left for like the weekend or whatever. Just in case. Because it is a little eerie at nighttime, just because you don't want to get woken up in the middle of the night, like having to evacuate. So, like, the daytime's not that bad because you feel like, okay, like the sun's out. It kind
I
of
can
feels
see.
normal in this area. Yeah, it's like not too scary. However, at night, it's like more scary because, yeah, if you go to bed, who knows what's happening when you're sleeping? You could
And
totally.
also, the air quality has not been good. I mean, it is now okay to go outside for you, but for a few days you were inside.
Yeah, we stayed inside just because. There was definitely ash flying around. Now it seems fine. I'm sure the air quality still isn't at its best, but
Not as
just
obvious.
like we don't really smell any smoke and we don't see any ash flying around. Um, we also stayed inside just because it felt weird to just go about our days and act like nothing was happening, kind of. I'm like, it's weird to be like, oh yeah, like let's go get breakfast at IHOP, like while there's literally cities being destroyed and firefighters working like 36-hour shifts, like crazy stuff. So it just kind of felt like not appropriate to be
To
like
live
out
your
and
life.
about. Yeah, like acting like everything's fine when there's like a lot of devastation. So we kind of just stayed inside. We kept the news on to stay up to date, see what was happening. At one point on Friday, the Palisades fire was threatening the valley, and that's where I am. So it just was a little scary because obviously the valley is like really big. There's multiple cities in the valley, but it was kind of coming over. So we went to my mom's, who is just a few cities down, and it's
I
like
was
the
gonna say,
same.
where is she considered? Like, what is that area considered?
It's
Like, you're
still
in
the
the
valley.
valley. Okay.
Yeah, so the valley's like this whole thing that we're
Okay.
in. Um,
But she's further away from the Palisades fire.
yeah, so she's just like a few cities further. So we went and stayed the night there just because I didn't feel like I would be able to sleep being so close
Yeah.
because really like the neighborhood next to us was on like the evacuation warning of like be ready. But like you don't
Yeah.
have to go, but just like be ready. Here's warning. So I was like, I don't want to sleep here. So we did that. But they've officially put out the Kenneth fire. Is that
And
what it's called?
was it the, I have it on here. Let's see.
It's the one that was closest to the Palisades. I think it was.
Hearst?
No, that
Or
one's
was it the
closer to the
Hearst?
one in Fillmore. I think it's the Kenneth fire.
I have this up. Let me just reload it. They've put it out already, you said?
Yes, they said that that one got taken care of, so that's good. As of right now, to my knowledge, it's the Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, and the Hearst fire. The
Fire.
Hearst fire being the smallest one. And
Yeah,
then,
the Hearst one's 89 at the time of this podcast, 89% contained.
yeah, so
One is
we're getting
27%,
somewhere.
and the Palisades is 11.
Yeah, so they did say that the winds are supposed to pick up again, and it is a little windy out already. They say that they're supposed to pick up again overnight and well into Monday. However, they did say that this time around they are much more prepared for the winds and how to go about it. So I'm trying to be optimistic and hopeful. Like we have firefighters coming from Mexico, we have firefighters coming from Canada. Um, I think they got here today to help us fight the fires. A bunch of states, I think it said like 8 US states also sent firefighters over here. So that's, kind of not reassuring, but helps with the hopefulness that
Yeah,
we're not just like fighting this thing alone and people are coming over and happy to
and
help. So
maybe give a break to the firefighters that have been working so
nonstop.
hard, nonstop. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just insane.
It's so insane. We're like so thankful
Oh,
for the firefighters and I don't know if you saw, but there was a bunch of inmates that went to
wow.
go fight the fire also. And I don't know if they were ex-firefighters that were inmates or just whoever, but a lot of them were like, and they don't
Wow.
get paid. And so, you know how Kim Kardashian will like fight for specific inmates and like
Yeah,
put her out there for them? She said that inmates, ever since like the 1900s or whenever, if they get let out to go help fight a fire, they get paid $1 an hour or something like that.
that's crazy.
And she said that it's never changed, even with inflation. So she's trying to up it to $5 an hour. I think it got rejected, and she's
Hmm.
like trying to like go about it again. But I saw a few videos about the inmates, and they were like, "Oh, we are so thankful for this opportunity to like help and like do what we can and show that like
We're
like
not
we're
all bad.
to change and yeah like maybe give us a second chance and things like that. Obviously I don't know like what they were in for, but
And I
it's
feel
good to
like,
see everybody coming together.
yeah, that's beautiful. And like, I feel like inmates, sometimes a lot of them are troubled teens or troubled children that have no direction. And so they do bad things or they do things to survive and then they end up in jail and then they still have no direction when they get out. There's a really good show. I think it's called Gordon Ramsay's Visits Jail or something. And it's really awesome. Like he teaches them. It didn't go long, but it really should have. And of course, it's not in America. I don't think. But he goes because Gordon Ramsay's brother and was a addict and he was in and out of jail and died of an overdose. And he like basically teaches them, he like gets them on a team and is like, this is how we're gonna behave. Like you can either be cut or you can do this. And like they want to, like a lot of them are like, I have no skills and I want to learn something so that when I get out, I can do something.
Mm-hmm.
And like he has them, so they cook and they bake, and then he shows them. They don't get to see it, of course, like in person, but they sell all their baked goods at a place, and like they put that money back into the prison. It's like super
Oh,
awesome. So there's like
yeah,
things like that that should be happening for these people that
1000%.
not the murderers, not the creeps. I'm
Right,
not even going to mention
right.
them, but but the
Yeah.
people that are struggling. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
so
there's
that's awesome that
definitely
they
a
let them
fine
help.
line between like bad people and then people who
Good.
have just made a bad choice.
Absolutely.
Maybe I've learned from it. So, yeah, it was great to kind of see that. And I'm hopeful. I've been trying to stay hopeful, but it's hard because like every day it's like you're just constantly either watching the news just to stay up to date or it's all over social media. So it can definitely get overwhelming.
Yeah.
So we'll like take breaks from like watching the news and like being on social media because it can just be so
Depressing.
heartbreaking to see like the towns just like wiped out and people just losing everything. And it's just so sad. But we've also seen a lot of like the community come together to donate. There's so many donations going on right now that most of the donation areas have said please no more because we're overwhelmed with the amount. And so many people are volunteering. So many people I have seen online making food for the firefighters and like dropping off stuff there for them, and it's just like great to see everybody. And I've been saying this, I'm like I wish there was a way for the community to go help fight the fires because I feel like with everybody we would just be able to help put it out.
I'm brainstorming this, so no promises, but my stepsister is a female firefighter. She is fighting the fires right now. Her and her boyfriend are both firefighters. He's from another county, but he got sent up to help. Um, and her regular station is in the area of one of the fires. So maybe I'll see if when all this calms down and all the fires are over, if we can get her to come on the podcast for a short amount of time just to see like what actually does help. You know what I mean? Like what does help them? What do they need in the time of wildfires? Because unfortunately, I've noticed with moving to Indiana, we don't have fires aren't really a thing here. Like it's not a worry. And in California, we're always aware of wildfire season and like just, I we lived in Ventura with the Thomas Fire and P worked nights. And I remember being so scared at night because I had all three of the animals and I would just sleep on the couch and I put everything by the door so that if I had to leave when he was at work, I had to leave, and
Mhm.
I would grab what I could, grab the animals and go. Um, and I've realized that like people here have like no idea what it's like. Like they're like that's crazy, but like they don't fully get it because they've just never had to experience that or had to have that fear. I mean, we have huge trees in our backyard. People have like unattended fire pits. It's like not even, and you're like
Yeah.
us still sometimes we're like, it's a
Yeah.
little wild. Like, is that
Yeah.
okay? Like, but here it's like it's everything's so wet and everything's so it's just so different that people don't realize it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think there's a whole part of like maybe the world or just the US that like has no idea, which I feel like could be the same for like whatever every state
Natural
goes.
disasters. Yeah.
Mhm. Like I'll never understand like the
A
hurricane
hurricane.
and
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff that is crazy. So yeah, I think it'd be great if she could come on and kind of give us the rundown of what it was like on her end and yeah, what really does help because like everybody's trying to guess and it
Yeah. It's
sucks
like we don't know
to
from a
feel,
firefighter.
yeah, it sucks to feel so helpless. I'm like, load me up, like get me out there. How can I
What can I
help?
do?
Yeah, like I'll help hold the hose. Like, I don't know, like what should I do? Because just sitting back and not doing anything is hard. So, we have donated and we have helped volunteer and
And
That's like
we'll put stuff in the I keep wanting to say comment section. I can't think. Um
description.
the description on if you're needing help, where you can maybe go. We'll put some links together for if like you want to help, you want to donate, but you don't know how, we'll put some links together. And if you're needing the help, you know what to look for.
Yeah, totally. And I've also seen great things like Airbnb offering like super discounted rates and Uber offering like credit if you need to get someplace. So
Especially because all those people I'm sure lost their cars, and I don't feel like car insurance is going to cover that. Maybe I'm
if
wrong.
it does, it's gonna take a minute, you know?
Yeah, and
Like,
like now they have no cars. Like, oh my
yeah,
God, how can you
I
get
know.
somewhere?
I know. It's crazy. So that's what's been going on in LA, but we are fighting through. We're still here.
But
Definitely making progress because they put the Kenneth fire out. The Hearst fire is on its way to being put out. I'm just so nervous with the winds coming in tonight, and they said tomorrow the winds are going to be bad. That, ugh. But hopefully with all the help, and they said that they're way more prepared now that it won't be that bad. So we'll see. I
and I
hope,
I just hope this does open people's eyes to realize like who's in charge is not for you. You know what I mean? Like they're
yeah.
not for the people. They don't care about the people. So maybe this will open people's eyes to realize that it's not a safe place to be when your leader of your area, the mayor or anything, has done things to cut down the fire department instead of build them up. Why are you taking down our emergency services? That's what we need to keep us safe.
Yeah, none of it really makes sense. I was looking into it too because it's all over social media and even like a few celebrities have spoken out about the mayor saying like it's unacceptable
And
and
just before this
and
fire
the
started,
government.
she proposed to cut even more just
Yeah,
before the day before the fire started. It's
and
sick.
it's so sketch because she also came out and like people were grilling her about it, right? And she had nothing to say. She wouldn't say anything. And then it was weird because then she came out and she spoke about it a little bit about the funding, and she pretty much said that that funding that seemed like it was cut is because it was like sitting in a different bank, but it wasn't allocated with that specific amount. I don't know. It's just like so sketch and none of it makes sense. And I think that like
She's being called.
1000% in California, like, if we are known for having wildfires, this isn't a brand new thing. Like, this has been going on. Like, this is what California deals with. Just how, like, Florida deals with hurricanes and whatnot. Like, they prepare for that stuff as much as they can. California needs to be preparing all the time. And I get that, like, yeah, it can get pricey, but, like, you know what else is pricey? Rebuilding cities. So, like, come on, like what are we doing here? So, yeah, I also hope it opens people's eyes and I hope
That it gets the wrong people out.
totally.
Because, yeah,
I'm
they need to go. I mean, not to get political here, but the people
also
that are
it was
doing
really
this need to go.
interesting because the who is it like the chief of the firefighters is that woman.
Hmm.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
And they were like doing a talk and she seemed like her and the mayor were like that because they were both
That's
talking.
probably how she got the job.
I know it was just like so odd and I'm like, "Wait, isn't she supposed to be like I guess you have to save a little bit of face like when you're doing like a press thing to not cause anything, but like it just they were asking her questions obviously like about the mayor, like, oh, the mayor did this or whatever. But she was like giving her props kind of. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. Some
I'm like,
snakes
this is
need to be pulled out of the garden. We need to
yeah,
figure
I
out
was
what's
like,
going
this
on
is
here.
sketch. Also, yeah. I was gonna say something, never mind.
I know, like trying to keep it not as aggressively, but I mean, it's true. It needs to be addressed. So, and
Yeah.
also the other thing I was going to say is I think it's pretty ridiculous. I don't know if you know this, but like a while ago I learned this and it's sickening that politicians get paid. Like if they were once in office, they always get paid. Their pay
Wow.
doesn't end when it's like, what job can you have? Like literally, even when they go to jail,
That's
they're still
wild.
getting paid. It's like, how, why,
So they
you
never
wonder
have
why
to
we
work
don't have,
again.
no. It's like, so you just be a politician once and you're good. And you can do
That's
whatever
wild.
because you can go to jail and you still get paid.
That's crazy.
That's
I didn't
wrong.
know that. Yeah, it is.
Like that needs to stop. What job can you have that you get fired from or that you leave and you still get paid for the rest of your life?
Your
No
salary
job.
company. Yeah,
Why
that's
do you think
crazy.
these slimy people want to be politicians?
I know.
That needs to stop. That would freaking pay our debt.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
Yeah, there's a lot of wrong happening. So I'm hoping that we, get some good out of this
yeah.
and we get
And
it
I
right the next time.
and I hope that like everyone's, I mean, I'm just thinking about the poor older people that are like in their 90s, like what there's no way they're going to be able to afford an old folks home or anything even. Like
Yeah.
what in the world? It's really going to
I
be
know.
rough.
I did see that, which I loved because as much as I feel like donations help and like food and all that
Volunteering.
helps, like I feel like unfortunately the main thing that helps is money.
Hmm.
Obviously, not everybody has it, so that's why we donate. That's why we volunteer because that's the only way that we can help. But I have seen like Paris Hilton, she started um, a fund for like the wildfire victims, and she contributed $100,000 and anybody that contributes, she will match the amount. So
Wow.
everybody that contributes, she will match their amount up to $100,000. So if somebody
Wow.
puts like $50,000, she's gonna match it with $50,000. So Paris, I'm really loving Paris Hilton because
Right? We
like,
are for Paris Hilton.
I'm like, put her in office. What the heck?
For
Like,
real. What the hell are we doing in life?
yeah, I'm like,
Also,
wow.
I
Good.
just want to say, because this is making me crazy. So last
What?
week, my husband listened to the podcast, of course, and he
Oh
was like,
yes, I was
God.
gonna say I have got to know about this.
So he was like, God, you're like so aggressive. Like you're so intense
Against
about Meghan
Meghan
Markle.
Markle? Yeah. Wait, Merkel or
I think
Markle?
it's, I don't know. I don't give a
I'm pretty sure it's Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle. And so he's like, God, you're so like, and then here's what I want to say. I feel like she was using this fire as a publicity stunt. So I am not
You're
a fan.
holding strong.
I'm holding strong and I don't feel bad about going off on her last week. And I was still
What,
nice and
tell
I'm
me
still
what
going to be
you
nice.
saw. Like, tell me what you
So
like.
my dad, like, even though he's at work, he's able to be on his iPad and like he doesn't, so
Yeah.
he was like, really up on the fires because like his stepdaughter is a firefighter. And obviously he's like always on the news. Um,
Mhm.
so he was like, is there a fire? Like, cause my dad and I FaceTime often. He's like, is there a fire in Montecito? And I'm like, no. No, I don't think so. And he's like, and he's like, that's ridiculous. He's like, Harry and Meghan are sitting there saying, like, we're really worried because, and he like read the article and he's like, oh, it's just saying they're literally worried because they're like, it's a red flag warning for fires in our area. And we're afraid we're gonna have to evacuate due to like losing power or anything. And I'm like, excuse me, there's actual people, okay, who are losing their
Yeah.
homes right now. You don't have a fire in Montecito. Leave if you want to leave. You don't need to tell the goddamn news. Pissed
Mhm.
me off. So that already made me irritated because I was like, you know why? Because her Netflix thing's about to come out in how many days?
I know, for real, the countdown
So
begins.
then in the next few days, they go down and my dad's like watching the news as I'm FaceTiming him and I can hear them and they're like, "Oh my God, Harry and Meghan Markle are here meeting people." It's like, yeah, these victims, they need to meet you.
Oh, I
That's going to
did
make
see
them
that.
feel better that their whole house just burned down, but they get to meet Meghan, whatever her last name is. And they're like the Duchess. I'm like, "No, no, no. They left."
Yeah, they're not part of that.
That's not it. And the news people were like, yes, and they're letting people stay in their $14.1 million Montecito home. I'm like, yeah, right. They're not letting you and me, if our houses burn down, stay in their house. That's bullshit.
Yeah, that does
And they're
not
like, they're
make sense.
friends. And we're like, what friends? That made me so irritated. I said, and you know why they're there? I'm like, bring a food truck, pay for a food truck to
Yeah.
feed all these people and the firefighters. Then
Right.
show up.
Start writing some checks maybe to the
Yeah.
victims who just
But
lost
and I'm
everything.
like, so you're letting rich people that you know stay at your house, but not, don't say you're letting evacuees stay at your house
Right. You're
to get
not
on the
bringing
news.
randoms into your
And
home.
why do they need to say the price of their home?
I know, that's so odd.
So that really grossed me out and like gave me the ick. And it's like, yeah, okay, maybe they are going to give some money. They talked about their fund or whatever. But it's like, you don't need to go down there. Who is that helping? You going down there to meet the firefighters and meet, like,
Yeah, for real.
no, they need rest. They need food. They don't want to meet you.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I know. And I was kind of saying the same thing. I was like, it's really driving me crazy. Any like big time celebrities whose houses either get burned down or they're getting threatened. Like, I get it. No matter your income status, it sucks. It's a
Yes,
sucky situation. However, I'm sorry, I just can't feel that bad for you when like the other people are in the same situation but worse because they
yes.
don't have three other houses that they own, you know? And like that's another thing about Paris Hilton is that her Malibu house burned down and she I think went back to it and she talked about it and she said she was like, "Yeah, like this is sad to see like my Malibu home burn down." But she said like it is nothing compared to like the
Your
other
only family home,
like I
or
know that like I will be fine, but a lot of other people are not going to be fine. And I think that's why she started like that fund, which is great. But yeah, I saw a few celebrities. I was like, I cannot deal with you right now. Go to your other house, okay?
yeah, and stop crying on camera, trying to get sympathy and likes. And
Yeah. And even like there's this one influencer that I follow and I love her. She's like a beauty influencer. She recently just got into running. So she's like doing like 5Ks, 10Ks, like she runs like all the time. She lives in the valley and she it was where the fire was being threatened and so she's posting about it like oh gosh, like pray for us and stuff and she just put today, I think I saw on her Instagram story that she was like, oh, like, I was on a run today on her treadmill. And I was thinking, like, if I can pair with like a profit organization or a brand or something and hold like a 5K or a 10K and all the
hmm,
proceeds will like go towards
the
um
victims.
the victims. And I'm like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is how you
Like,
use your
use,
name and your status. Like, you don't just have to like go on there and talk and be like, look what we did. We passed out granola bars. It's
we
like,
passed
okay,
out our headshots signed. Like, get the
right,
out of here.
right.
Get out.
Exactly. Or even people like on TikTok, they will say they're like, I'm making this video because I know I'm gonna get a lot of views and all the income from this video is gonna go towards. So like I'm
Like, I'm
not doing
not doing
it to
it
just
to
be
just
like,
be
oh,
like, oh,
follow
oh,
me, but I'm doing it to try to like rank
gain
up something
money.
and extend over. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. Like that's what we should be doing. So Meghan Markle can go
Yeah, we're done.
Montecito.
We're not even watching her damn cooking show. Stay in Montecito,
I'm sure we'll
Megan.
see clips of it. So more opinions to come, guys.
She's my mortal enemy now.
Yeah, for real. Sierra's gonna like make it her ultimate goal to get the show
Off
done.
Netflix.
Yeah.
He's like, dang, you're putting way too much energy. I'm like, it's not energy unless I'm thinking about it on the podcast, okay? But it
Right.
pissed me off.
It's just a strong opinion. That's fine. Some things just
Right.
trigger us a little bit, And it's like, just gotta unleash. Sorry it had to be you. Don't
Sorry,
you.
but I'm not sorry.
Yeah. Okay, well now we know where you stand with that.
Yeah, so that's the sitch. But yeah, overall, we just hope you're in a safe place. We hope, that you have somewhere to go. And I hate to say it, but there are other great states other than California if you have to leave. It might be the best option. Some people might have. I mean, I was thinking personally, like if I even like after the Thomas fire and we almost had to evacuate, and I was like, this is not like my grandma lives in the Santa Barbara Hills that's been threatened by fire before. And I've been there when we are supposed to evacuate. And I think about it now and I'm like, that was so dumb. We should have left.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just really devastating, but also then you have to deal with like the mudslides after when
Mhm.
it does finally rain, and it's just a scary thing, and it's not something that I would want to live in. And I feel like kids will probably have trauma from it, and people will probably have to move anyways. Like,
Yeah, I cannot imagine buying a house that's like on the top of a mountain like that. Like that's crazy.
and the house is always shifting, and like the pipes are always busting. It's like because it's always moving. It's
Yeah.
not a place to build.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. Um, I was also gonna say about my week. I'm not gonna share too many details, but
Okay.
I have come to the conclusion that maybe I'm a smidge of a hypochondriac. And I don't want to say like I am a hypochondriac because I feel like there are people that are actually diagnosed with being a hypochondriac. And I feel like with me just being like, oh yeah, I'm a hypochondriac. Like it's kind of like people who are like, oh yeah, I totally like I'm OCD, I have ADHD. But you're just like saying that, but there's actually people who like suffer from these things. So I'm not saying that I am, but I feel like maybe a smidge of it is there because last weekend, uh, something happened and I just like convinced myself that I had 5 years to live. And that was it.
She was spiraling. Like I was like, I don't even know what to do. This girl is crying in bed. She thinks she's dying. And I was like, you're not dying on me, bitch. I will literally pull you from the dead.
No, I full on convinced myself. And I know they say like don't Google, don't look at
Yeah.
stuff, but it's hard not to when
I
it's
was like,
like,
stop Googling. You're scaring the
yeah.
shit out of yourself.
Because a lot of times I feel like you Google because you're trying to reassure
Rule things
yourself.
out.
Yeah, you're trying to like reassure yourself, like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, and then it does the
It's
opposite.
never,
You're like, wait a
it's never
minute.
good.
But I just feel like it's when one thing is off about your body, you're just kind of like, wait a minute, what's happening here? And then Googling just takes you downhill. So yeah, I was fully convinced I had 5 years to live. I'm over it. I got through it and I'm fine.
She's gonna live for
Yeah.
more than 5 years.
Live. Yeah. So that happened, and then the fires happened. So it was kind of chaotic week, but we're here, we're alive, we are gonna continue to live.
We're gonna be here.
Yeah.
We're gonna continue to podcast. I'm trying
Yeah.
to convince P to podcast with me. So we'll see if we can get a
Ah,
podcast going with him.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
Arkham stepped on a toy like right before we were supposed to podcast and like cut his foot. So it's
Oh,
been wild. I don't know if
ouch.
it's because I'm pregnant or like he's kind of like in the fear stage. So like he hasn't been going to any room. Like he has to be in the same room with you. Or he's like,
Mm.
Mama, I need you, Mama. And I'm like, oh
So he
my
doesn't
God.
want to be there alone.
Yeah, he does not want to be alone. Like he doesn't want to go. Like he'll turn on all the lights, but even still, he won't go into like his room and grab something. He's like, I need to.
Yeah.
So he did say he was scared of a few toys.
Yeah.
He like doesn't like getting rid of things. But P's like, if you're not gonna go in that room and grab what you want, we're right here. It's fine.
Yeah.
Then legit, he goes and like gets a butter knife and he's like, I'm going. I'm like, no.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
So then we're like, I'm like, what are you afraid of? So we can take it out of there. Like, I don't want you
Yeah.
having something that you're scared of. Like, so
Right.
finally he did show P like what, because P had saved a lot of his childhood toys for Arkham,
Hmm.
but some of them are like gnarly, like, what are they? Like, there's like a Venom that Arkham doesn't like. It's not the traditional Venom, it's like a colored one, and Arkham's like, and then like right now he's freaked out about bugs. He has always loved bugs, but like one thing's like a transforming huge bug, and he is like not liking
Okay.
it. And he has a few dinosaurs that Paul
Yeah.
saved that are like kind of scary dinosaurs. They're not like, oh, that's a cute one. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
so we took all those out. We're gonna put them in the attic because
Good.
and so literally I'm like trying to get ready to podcast. I'm like, okay, I got a shower. He's like, wait, I need you. I'm like, oh my God. Come in the bathroom with me then.
Yeah.
And then he's like running. He had taken a bunch of toys into the living room and he stepped on like a dino car, I think.
Oh
Nothing
my
bad
gosh.
foot, but he was like, I stepped on a toy. And I'm like, what? And then I look over and he's like already running towards me, like full on crying. And I'm like, oh, you
Oh,
got hurt. So then
poor.
I sat him down and he was like pushing his foot against me so hard. And then I could see it as like, it's like a line cut, like a blood. I was
Oh.
like, I'm like, do you want to put a band-aid? He's not a band-aid person. So he's like, no. Okay. Are you sure?
Oh,
So he was hopping for a little bit, but now he's totally normal on it.
good. He's recovered. Good.
Maybe pick up the toys because we step on
Yeah.
that shit all the time.
I
I
know
have
for real. Oh my
only
God.
been stabbed and cut once, and it was by a freaking car. It was an older car, so it had a metal axle. So I stepped on it, and the wheel pressed in, the axle went into my foot, and I was like,
Ouch.
so that one
Yeah.
was that hurt for a few days, but
No, thank you. Not today.
not today,
Not
toys.
today.
And P and Arkham are the worst. Excuse me. At looking at the floor when they're walking. Like they always step and
Oh,
slip. And I'm like, because you don't look down.
yeah. You're not like paying attention to where you're stepping. You're just hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just walking.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Anything
Um,
else positive or funny from this week or that you want to share?
Not that I can think of. However, today, after we're done with this podcast, I think I am going to go to the grocery store to get ingredients to make homemade dog food. I know that you've dabbled in it a little bit. I know that you were not a fan of it.
Not pregnant me.
Um,
I'm fine with
yeah.
it, like normally. And once I can get to it again, I will do it.
Yeah.
But right now it stinks. And P's like, this is what's making the fridge stink. And I'm like, okay, I have to stop. So I was
Interesting.
like, Greta, sorry, you're getting dry food for a few weeks till we can
Yeah.
figure it out. I still have some in the freezer, but and we just like unthaw it like 3 to 5 days at a time. But P's never done it before. It's usually just me. So I was like, I don't know if he could do a batch. And to get 30 days of dog food, um, obviously my dog's bigger, so she eats like her portions are different. But to get 30 days of dog food, it takes me, is that a 5 pound? Yeah, it takes me 5 batches of food.
Yikes.
So it's like a lot. And then so that's 1 pound per batch of ground beef. And then I forgot how many pounds of vegetables I put in that. And then
Yeah.
rice.
I know I have a recipe that I'm going to try. It's not a lot, but kind of. And the
And
girl
will
that I
you crock pot it or what do you think you're gonna do?
so the girl that I saw it from, she got it from her vet or something. And I think this vet, I think she's a well-known vet because I think I follow her on things. And she's all about like health and stuff and like no to the Purinas and no to that stuff and choose healthier options for your pet. And she said that she has like a YouTube video out if you wanted to like look more into why she puts specific ingredients in it that she puts because it's all like beneficial for some things. I think in the beginning it might be a little bit pricey because there's certain things that I have to get that I don't have. However, I like won't have to rebuy them every time. Like
Like,
there's certain seasonings that she puts in
oh,
there. She puts like hemp oil, I think. So like certain things that'll like last me for like a few times after I make it. But so the recipe is made, you mix it all together, all the raw ingredients together, and then she puts it in freezer bags, like portions it out, puts it in freezer bags, and then she'll take it out and thaw it overnight and then gently cook it the next day. And then keep it in her fridge for like 4 days. Like she portions it out so that like once she gently cooks it, it's enough for 4 days. Um, and then, once she's like on the fourth day, she'll like take out another one, thaw it, and then gently cook it the next day. So I think I'm gonna do that, and just cook it in small portions, like as I go, and then keep it in the fridge. for a few days. But I'll just have to figure out like the portions for Serena.
That's what I
But
was
yeah,
gonna say is what kind of dog I wonder does that girl have?
she had small dogs. I think she said that they were like 8-pound dogs, but she had like two
Oh,
of them, so like 16 pounds. Serena's like 22 pounds. And she said that her vet said to feed them, I forget how much. So I'll have to look into it
I
to
like
see.
Googled and there was kind of like a ratio for like your dog's weight and I forgot it, but I remember Greta's is like 20.
Yeah. I want to try it just because Frenchies have a lot of like food allergies. Serena doesn't really have a lot of food allergies.
And what meat are you gonna go?
I think I'm gonna try ground turkey to
Okay.
start with.
I think
Um,
Spartan Final is the best place to go.
yeah.
I think start there and then whatever else you might need.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go based off the ingredient list because the girl said that with that ingredient list, it makes her dog's food for like 3 weeks, maybe almost 4 weeks. So I'm
Okay.
thinking if I do that, it'll maybe last Serena like 2 weeks. So I feel like that's a good starter, you know? So I'm not
Yeah.
like making a huge 1 month prep and then it like doesn't work out.
Yeah, that's true.
Lose it. So I think that'll be a good starting point and then we'll
Really hate
see.
it.
Yeah, then we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna do
Do
that and
that
then
and then
in the freezer, just like separate it like raw and then just like take it out. And they say to really gently cook it. Don't like sear the meat, but gently cook it, whatever that means. So I'm just gonna cook it. But they said it's a great like raw option too if you feed your dog like raw, but like I don't think I would do that. I know some people really like to do that. But I just get nervous.
I feel like if you're feeding your dog raw, it's like more of like a close to wolf dog. You know,
Right. That's
like
what I was
those are the
thinking
dogs
too.
I feel like are like eating
Yeah,
raw
like
clean.
the ones that could make it in the wilderness.
Yeah, they're
Like
like
she needs it cooked.
she needs cooked food.
Yeah. Gently cook that shit. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm kind of nervous about it because I just feel like, oh God, like what are the portions? Like how do I do this? Like just to like get into the zone of it. But I feel like once you start, it's like, okay, you realize how to do it.
Yeah, because I've made hers now uh 3 separate times.
Yeah.
So she's been eating like that for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Um, and I started just with like, and in the beginning I was vacuum sealing it, but then I felt like there was no difference and it was actually easier to put it in just like Ziploc freezer bags.
Mhm.
So, and then I also will like usually, not now that I'm pregnant, but I would usually wash them and like reuse those Ziploc bags
Yeah.
for her. But for now, that's not happening. And yeah, just in general, the food ain't happening.
Yeah. Sorry,
Sorry,
Greg.
Grid.
I
She
know. So we'll
understands.
see. Yeah, maybe next week I'll have an update because she's running out of her honest food, honest kitchen food.
And I love Honest Kitchen. If Greta wasn't so big, I would get her Honest Kitchen. But right now, I'm like, sorry, Gret, you're getting
Yeah,
Rachel
I
Ray.
love Honest Kitchen too. I just feel like Serena, she definitely like licks her paws still and she scratches her face a lot and like her belly.
To be fair,
And
we're talking about the dehydrated Honest Kitchen, not the kibble, because I don't think we both of us like the kibble.
yeah, Serena did not do well on the kibble. Even though it's kind of weird because it's like the
The
same
same,
thing, like a
but
different
it's
form.
definitely weird.
You did not. Her stomach did not do good on that. It thrives on the dehydrated though. But yeah, so we'll see. I'll keep you updated, see how it goes. I know she's gonna like love it and devour it. But every Frenchie owner that I see online that talks about their Frenchie's allergies all say like once I took my dog off of dog food and like just fed them regular like human food, like all their allergy, like they're thriving, like everything gone. Like their paws are fine, they're not itchy anymore, their coat is thriving. So we're gonna test it out and see if there's no difference and it is too much for me to do, then we're just gonna switch back. But we're gonna see.
I feel like Greta's definitely been better, but before I started making Greta's food, we figured out she had the chicken allergy. So
Yeah.
she hasn't really been like itching her ears or having any issues. So everything's been beef based. And then I got her beef food, and she was doing good on the beef kibble for a bit. She did best on the beef Honest Kitchen.
Yeah.
But the homemade one, she definitely likes it, and I feel like it made her needier. Like she was like, "Oh my God." Like at first I was like, "Am I not feeding her enough?" Like she's
Yeah.
being weird. Like she's being so like,
She's probably just like so happy and she
but
probably
I
just like
think
felt good. Like she's like,
that she feels
yeah,
good. And
stomach's
she's like,
full,
"You make me
healthy.
food."
Yeah. I'm one of them now.
She's
Yeah. So I'm
literally
excited because,
pigeon-toed.
yeah, I know. I'm excited because I think Serena will really like it. I mean, she loves the honest food too, but we'll see. It'll be my first time. So
I'm curious because I feel
stay tuned.
Serena's a little more picky than Greta. Like Serena's a little more spoiled than Greta.
Oh my God, Serena's so spoiled. However, when it comes to like human food, she usually doesn't deny anything.
And we're open for sponsor. So
Oh yeah.
Sundays, what is the other one that we like? The fresh dog food? Farmer's Dog.
Oh yeah. Farmer's
Want
Dog.
to
I've
come
heard
after
great
us? We're
things.
available.
I've always wanted to try. Finances don't allow me at this time.
That's why we're doing the podcast.
Honest Kitchen. Also, I was
We're,
gonna say, so we're gonna I'm gonna talk like menstrual talk. So if you prefer not to, or if
if you
you're
don't want to hear about a period, close your ears or like fast forward.
yeah. Um, so we packed a suitcase with like essential items and like, our like valuables and
I know my
don't
dad was like, did they pack up their car? And I was like, I don't think they packed a whole car.
no, we didn't pack a whole car, but there were some things that like we put in my car or we were gonna put in my car, like if we had to evacuate, because we were just gonna take his car and like
That's what I was
with
wondering.
our apartment, we have two underground garage like levels, and we're all the way on like the most underground. So I was like, worst case, if there's stuff that we're like, oh, I hope this survives, like we could just,
Put it in
but
my
we don't
car.
have room, just put in my car and like we'll hope for the best. And I'm like, because let's say the apartment like does burn down. I don't know if it'll get to the second underground level to
And
burn down.
we saw that Tesla situation like contained. So I feel like Teslas are pretty safe on the inside.
What situation?
Where that lamo tried to bomb a place in his Cybertruck, and like it
Oh,
literally just like contained the fight, like nothing even
yeah.
happened.
Oh,
So
yeah. I was
jokes
like,
on you.
yeah,
But
I'm like, I
I
feel
feel
like
like
a
it
Cybertruck
wouldn't
could,
burn the inside.
yeah, could just like drive through a fire and like
I'm
be
like,
fine.
I
Get a little
never wanted a
toasty.
Tesla or a Cybertruck, but like that made me be like, dang,
That's what I
it's
was thinking too.
bulletproof.
I'm like,
Getting a
yeah,
Cybertruck,
the safety, like car accident,
you're safe.
boom, dent, keep it moving. Like, so, yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, we'll just put it in my car, hope for the best. I don't think that the fire would go all the way underground to like the
Yeah.
garage, but like you never know. And something that I took because I was on my period, but I would have taken regardless, was the period company boxers and the like the reusable stuff.
We're
So
open. We use
those are
reusable
my
period products.
valuables. Yeah.
So, period
I'm
company,
obsessed.
if you want to sponsor us, we're open.
Yeah, no,
Period
I'm
thong.
obsessed with their products,
And
all
if
of them.
you're looking to find reusable products, like I try to get my niece into it, but I don't know. But I'm like, it's so easy. You just take a wet bag, you buy I always take travel wipes, and I have
Yeah.
a big wet bag because we did cloth diapers. So I have a big wet bag, and I put the wipies and the clean ones in one zipper. And then when I have to go to the bathroom, yeah, I've done it at a theme park where I have to full on take my pants off. Um, you know, so we
Yeah.
recommend Velcro. If period company you're listening,
Yeah.
we love some that are easier to change when you're out and about, but
Yeah, if you can't, yeah, if you have to change them, would be nice to not have to fully undress.
but
Um,
you can do it. It's not hard.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
no,
worth
I
it.
love them. I bought the reusable, I bought the thong ones. I
The
bought
love. That is
the,
like the best invention.
yeah, the overnight boxer ones. By far, those are my favorite. They are so comfortable. If I'm just chilling at home, those are the ones I wear.
You can wear them like bike shorts. I
Yeah.
literally
It's
took
so
down my
cute.
grandma's Christmas lights on my period wearing those. And I was like, people just think I'm wearing bike shorts and I'm wearing period underwear.
Yeah, they're so cute and I haven't leaked through at all on my heavy days. So I took
Do you
those, but
like the period pads?
I love.
Okay.
I haven't
I
leaked
didn't
through on them.
I
It's
didn't buy the
crazy
pads, but
because
she bought the pads too.
yeah, I love the pads because with regular pads, I've leaked through. Like I feel like I always leak through or like on the side or whatever because they're
Yes.
like, not the best. The reusable ones from the Period Company, I've never leaked through ever. They're so comfortable and
And
they're
it's
so
so nice
easy. I
to
just love
not have to like buy period. I mean, I have used reusable period products now for I almost think 3 years, maybe
yeah.
almost 4 years. And I haven't had to buy, like, yeah, I've bought more period underwear because, of course, I'm like, all right, these are getting a little worn out. Let's
Yeah.
put them to the side. But, like,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry, like, oh my God, I'm starting my period. Do I have period? Do I have, like, anything at home that, like, oh crap,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like they can seem so
tedious.
overwhelming because if you're not used to it, but I swear, like once you try it, it's
It's worth
just
it.
amazing. So, sponsors, I'm just saying,
We're open.
I packed them. That was valuable.
Love.
You come in with me.
Oh,
But yeah, that's it on my end.
I guess we'll get into hot topics. I was trying to think if I have anything entertaining to share, but it's mostly just been a struggle bus of
Yeah.
trying to feel good and then feeling guilty that I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And like, ugh,
Yeah.
it's not been that fun,
What
but
was
we're
the
hanging in.
last hot topic? What was
The
that?
last hot topic was cilantro.
Oh yeah, did we get any votes on that?
Let's see. I was listening to the toast before we came here.
111.
Um, oh, I'm on the wrong episode. Whoops. Okay. So it's 50-50 on yes and no for people liking cilantro.
Interesting.
Oh, also, do we have anything to say about the Golden Globes? Because I know we said we'd talk about it.
Oh, that's a great question. Nikki Glaser, I thought she did great. All the feedback is that she did great, and
And
people
I feel
really
like she wasn't too mean. Like, I feel like she could have been meaner. But
100%. I feel like her jokes were very like lighthearted, and she, strayed away from things she shouldn't talk about, and she hit it on the ball with things. So I think she did really good.
she is
Um,
like killing everything.
yeah, she is. So
Go, Nikki.
yeah, good job, Nikki. Yeah, so I think she did really well.
And
I was gonna say for some of the celeb gossip, I heard that Tom Holland and Zendaya got engaged. So that's cute. I think they're a very cute, like non-chaotic, non-drama
like I
couple.
almost don't see them together, but like
I know
I
it's
do.
so hard to see them together, but then when they kind of go out as like themselves together, like if they go on a date night or something, they look really cute. But it is like just like a couple I feel like that you wouldn't pin together. So congratulations to them.
That is exciting. I feel like there's a lot of engagements happening right now.
Yeah, there are a lot of engagements happening. They didn't really like say anything about their like they kept it really private. All of a sudden she was just like wearing a ring. And people were like,
I
"Oh,
feel like they're pride, like they're
yeah.
like you don't even know where they live, if they live
Yeah,
together,
exactly.
what they're up to.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't really have a hot topic prepared. Do you have anything that's on your mind that we can throw into a hot topic?
I mean, since we didn't really do the celebrity gossip, we don't have to do a hot topic.
True.
We can just leave it as like a discussion podcast today.
I like it.
Yeah.
And we will put links. I'm definitely going to link Paris Hilton's because I think that's a great one.
Ew.
And we'll
Paris
pull a few of them.
president.
For real. I'm making us, that's going to be one of our merch.
Yeah.
Paris for president. I
Seriously.
swear. I would like to know if her uh Bill has made it any further, or her like law that she's working on, I
I'll look
wonder.
into it.
So we
I
can
will
talk
look
about that
into,
next podcast.
yeah, I'll put a note and I'll look into it.
And yeah, I think that's it. We just hope you're safe. We hope that you are okay. And if you're not okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
We hope that this
It
brought you,
will be okay
yes, you will
eventually.
get there. Everything will get worked out. Like I said, there's a lot of beautiful states. If you're looking for somewhere to leave, there's places to go. And like sometimes where you live, you feel like everywhere is doomsday. But then you have to
Mhm.
like open your mind or open your eyes to realize like it's just where I am that this is happening. So like I can go somewhere else and feel safe or have
Yeah,
different
totally.
options.
Yeah.
So take care of yourselves and check out our links in the description as far as if you need help or if you're trying to give help. And
Mhm.
um, we'll see if we can get Firefighter on the podcast.
Yeah.
Not
Stay
for the next
safe.
one, but maybe for February or something.
Yeah, definitely for the future to come. I think that's a great idea. We will work on that.
Yeah, maybe we'll write down some questions. And if you have
Hmm.
questions that you'd like to ask a firefighter, put them in our comments.
Yeah. But
All
stay
right,
safe
guys.
and we will see everybody next week.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.